Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to webinar 5, ESG and the Impact on Value. I'm Richard Hilliard, the Head of Sustainability for the Langham Estate. We are a central London privately owned property company with 76 commercial buildings, covering circa about 1 billion square foot of space in Fitzrovia. And yes, ESG is a very interesting topic at the moment. The geopolitical state of the world with Trump and the advancement of far-right nationalist politics, in addition to corporate corruption and influence on policy, have a major impact on legislation and business priorities. Despite all this, the threat of climate change is real. It is not going away. And we are seeing increasing weather and climate-related events impacting the planet, people and businesses. Addressing ESG has never been more important, and despite increased policy uncertainty, establishing sustainable business practices is good for business. It provides operational efficiencies, reducing bottom line costs. It also enhances quality and improves offering to market, providing the potential for increased business. It also future-proofs against risks and uncertainty to ensure that businesses can still operate effectively in a rapidly changing world. We have a fantastic panel with us today, starting off with Tom Kelly of Inteb. Over to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Richard. So just before we kick off with the hot topic of ESG, just a quick recap on our previous webinar, CPD4, that was held in June this year on managing environmental risk. So those of you who attended will be aware of the things we talked about. Those of you who weren't able to attend, you can just log on to the Webinars portal. You can watch the session in full and obviously download your CPD certificate from that. So shameless plug in order to do so if you haven't already. Just to recap, because we do try and kind of tie these sessions in together as closely as possible. During Webinar 4, we introduced the subject of understanding environmental risk. So understanding risk and its tolerability, understanding the value of risk and defining opportunity and risk. And as a result of that, looking at both positive and negative aspects of environmental risk. We then talked about methodologies for measuring environmental impact and specifically energy efficiency. And we then went in quite a lot of detail to the benefits of accredited certification, focusing in particular on ISO management systems. And the ones we looked at in detail, because there are many, as many of you will know: ISO 14001 environmental management systems, ISO 50001 energy management systems, and then introduced the ideas behind ISO 14064 ISO accreditation for greenhouse gas emissions. So if that's your cup of tea, absolutely go back and watch that webinar, and feel free to raise questions with us from anything that you see from the session. So that's a little recap on CPD4. So we're going to kick off CPD5, ESG and the impact on value, with a kind of provocative question, if you like. Is ESG dead? Well, you would certainly be excused for thinking it is if you follow certain news sites, if you watch certain news channels, if you read certain publications. I think it's fair to say 2025 to date, and we are quite late in the year, has been the year of backlash, motivated mainly by things happening across the pond. Certainly the new Trump administration is doing what it said it was going to do. It kind of cut swathes out of EDI legislation, pulled out of climate accords and commitments to reducing carbon and net zero, and has been seen as more of a political punching bag than something to aspire to working towards. So, certainly that's not been a very positive thing when we see the positivity around ESG in the years leading up to that change. Seemingly, investor support for ESG proposals is waning. Certainly, timescales are longer.